Just 7 days ago, my garden was thriving. The leaves were glossy and green. Bees were moving from flower to flower. Passion fruit hung heavy on the vines. Life was everywhere. And then Florida got hit with a cold front that lasted nearly 2 weeks. Temperatures dipped not just into the 40s, but below freezing point. And overnight, everything changed. My garden went from this to this. My passion vines went from this to this. And it didn't happen gradually. It happened in just one night. When I turned on the hose to water my trees, ice came out. There were chunks of ice on the grass crunching under my feet. As a tropical gardener, I've never really had to think about frost dates, and I've never had to panic about freezing temperatures, because that's just not something that I worry about here, living in Florida, until now. In today's video, I'm walking you through my entire garden to show you exactly what this freeze did. And I'll be showing you footage from just days before so you can see how dramatic this shift really was. So, just 1 week before the cold front, I was harvesting arugula and bok choy multiple times a week. Passion vines were exploding with growth, flowers were everywhere, and fruits were forming. As you can see, my garden was thriving. Now look at this. The vines didn't just wilt, they dried out. It looks like the life was just completely drained out of them. But luckily, I was fortunate enough to harvest some of the ripe passion fruit before the freeze hit. So over here are my bananas, and as you can see, the leaves look burnt, crispy, and paper thin. And honestly, they look like they've been through a wildfire. This is my baby papaya tree, and I transplanted it just a few months ago. It was adjusting beautifully, pushing new growth, strong stem, healthy leaves. Every year, something gets my papayas. Usually, it's hurricane winds snapping them in half. And this past hurricane season, I remember thinking, wow, we made it. No major damage. But gardening has a way of reminding you not to get too comfortable. If it's not wind, it's cold. Thankfully, I harvested several ripe papayas before the freeze hit, and I'm grateful for that. But seeing the remaining fruit damaged overnight was really hard. You put months into growing something, and nature can undo it in a few hours. This is the one thing that saved me. For the first time ever, I started my tomatoes and peppers indoors. I never do that. I always sow directly into the soil because, as I mentioned earlier, I never had to worry about frost dates. But this year, something told me to try starting seeds inside, and if I hadn't, everything would have died. Those seedlings would have been gone. Instead, they're safe, protected, and waiting to be transplanted. I'll transplant them in March or maybe late February when the nights are consistently warm again. Sometimes the smallest shift in your routine ends up saving your season. So, back to the garden tour. This is my fire bush, and like the rest of my plants, it looks like it was set on fire. Just last week, it was covered in bright blooms, attracting bees daily. There was constant movement here. Now it's quiet. No bees, no butterflies. Over here is my lemongrass. Someone in the comments suggested using the dried leaves as mulch, which I think is a really fantastic idea, and I'll definitely be doing that. So, not only will it help protect the soil, but as it breaks down, it will also add valuable nutrients back into it. So, moving on to my banana trees on the other side of the garden. I was so excited when this tree started producing bananas and couldn't wait to harvest them. But that excitement quickly turned into disappointment as the cold front moved in, and day by day, the bananas gradually turned black. Gardening humbles you. It teaches patience, gratitude, and flexibility. You can plan everything perfectly, you can plant at the right time, you can nurture, fertilize, and water faithfully, but you cannot control the weather. And that's both the beauty and the heartbreak. Right now, I'm hoping this is mostly leaf damage, that the roots are still alive beneath the soil, that there's life we just can't see yet. Because gardens are resilient, And gardeners have to be resilient too. If something doesn't survive, we replant, we adapt, we learn, and we grow again. If you've ever lost plants to an unexpected freeze, tell me how you handled it. I'll keep documenting what survives and what I have to start over.